The person who introduced me to Carolyn Farb was George Lancaster, who is Sally and Olin Lancaster's son, who's the nephew of Al Meadows, who started the Meadows Foundation. I'd like for a few words to come from George Lancaster about Carolyn Farb, since he introduced me.
Okay. Hello. Good evening. I'm so happy to introduce Carolyn to you all tonight, as if she needs any introduction after, well, most of you know her, but that video, I'm almost... 20 years ago, I moved from Dallas to Houston to be director of marketing for the Galleria. I was, I think, 9 then. But being in events and PR and heavily involved in shopping, one of the first people I met was Carolyn. She was everywhere. We became fast friends, and although I read about her famous charitable events and acts almost on a daily basis, she frequently told me, "This is the last one. I'm taking a break. I'm going to focus on myself for a while." So I took her at her word. Until Bob Hopkins, who was then executive director of Texas NF, neurofibromatosis, as you all know, called me and said, "NF needs exposure in Houston. Let's have lunch." And for those of you who know Bob, "Let's have lunch" is code for, I want your money or your time or both, and lots of it. I had to, sorry. I didn't really have much of either to spare, but I respected Bob and was passionate about the work of Texas NF, so I really set Carolyn up. I invited her to lunch and told her Bob was coming. She underscored her inability to take on yet another project, and I assured her, this is just a meet and greet, no action required. Just come and maybe dole a little advice out like you do and eat a Caesar salad. Well, a few months after that lunch, Carolyn had joined the board of NF, produced an award-winning public service announcement to raise awareness for neurofibromatosis, and invented and chaired a giant luncheon and celebrity fashion show which netted more than $100,000 for the charity, and I got off scot-free. Well, she did tell me I had to shut down the Galleria ice rink for 3 days, cover and carpet it, erect a runway, lights and sound, and pay for that all. And yeah, she works on a zero-based budget, so. For those of you who think that you can say no to Carolyn Farb, give it a whirl. Trust me, it is very easy to fall prey to her enthusiasm and her big ideas. In the philanthropy world, Carolyn's track record is staggering. In 1983, she raised $1 million for a cancer charity in one night, a record at the time. She has raised money and awareness for more than 125 organizations. That represents more than $35 million for medical charities, including NF, HIV/AIDS, cancer, the arts, women's and children's issues, and the environment, and on and on and on. I printed out her relatively short biography and the attached list of events she's chaired and honors that she's received, and it was 28 pages. And my assistant faxed it to me in Atlanta, and it cost me $56 to pick it up at the business center. But it was worth it. But I really wrote this from the heart, so I didn't really even need to look at it. But more importantly than her resume, she innately and genuinely cares for people and improving the human condition. Kindness and impatience are in her DNA. And she is as beautiful inside as out, which is saying something, don't you think? And I have never seen her sweat, except maybe on 9/11 when we were on Fifth Avenue together, looking down at the black cloud coming sideways out of one of the World Trade Center towers. We spent the rest of that day at the late architect Philip Johnson's glass house in New Canaan as planned. We thought it would be safer to get out of the city, and Carolyn was in the midst of raising money for the University of Houston, and she had an appointment to enlist Philip's guidance and help, and she would keep it. How does she do it? Well, here's my advice to all of you. You'll just have to buy her new book called The Fine Art of Fundraising, available on Amazon.com, one of 2 books she has written about successful volunteerism. It is my honor to present a connector of people, a lover of animals, a champion of great and noble causes, big and small, a collector of art, but more importantly, a patron of artists, a creative genius, an opera singer one time, right, one time? 9 performances, 1 show. And even get this, and this I did get off the 28-page bio, an honorary fire chief of the city of Houston, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Carolyn Farb.